Hello everybody and welcome back to Europa, where we are on the tail end of our rebels. And that's fantastic. We're almost done getting all of this cord. We do need to take a bit of a chill period. There's no doubt about that. We've got a lot of territory over here to take back. We've got a few rebels to eliminate still. And we need a lot of manpower. We need 280,000 to reinforce our armies. And we're getting about 18.7 per month. Somewhere in there. Okay. Well, first things first. I want to hop into our buildings. I want to take a look at manufactories. Okay, that's all good. I want to take a look at cathedrals. That's all good too. I want to take a look at workshops. Nothing to be done there either. Okay. Courthouses. -2. I guess we'll do it. And universities. There are a few to queue up. We'll get a few of those done. Cool. Next up, I do want to check in on our manpower modifier status. So training fields here. Anything that is 500 or over, we will consider good enough. Cool. So there we go. We'll get all that built up. And we do need to eliminate these last few units of rebels. So I'm going to bring this army over. There we go. All of this is cleared up. These guys are heading in here. These guys are heading in here. Cool. Checking for any other issues. That was a bit of a hitch. Okay. We should probably consider eliminating some of these forts. For example, this one is unnecessary. This fort, we don't need it. Don't need this one. In fact, any of them behind Liga here, we're going to get rid of. We'll keep this one because it's a pretty decent strategic fort. But other than that, that'll all be good. Another thing that we might want to consider doing is building a fort of our own. I was going to say in a choke point over here. There kind of isn't one because of the uncolonized territory. So that's the thing. Oh, right. There's this area over here that we do need to deal with. We'll get to work on that. Cool. And these guys, they're making their way up here to deal with these last couple of forces. So that should be fine. And we're looking at taking control back over this way. Cool. For most of our armies, we want them to just be chilling and not taking attrition right now. That's actually quite important. So, any that are not moving that are taking attrition. No. Okay, just wanted to check in on that. There's an extreme monsoon down over here. We'll do a relief effort. Okay. And we'll... Oh, didn't select it. There we go. We'll continue capping back these territories. These guys are at 0 strength. So, we're just going to back them off. We won this battle here. That was fully expected, of course. There's another corps finishing up, dropping our provincial unrest even more. And let's have more settlers, thanks. There we go. And then we'll move these guys off over here. Helps if you unpause. There we go. Over we head. So these guys are all on their way over this direction, right? Apparently I can't select these. There we go. Cool. We're going to head up over here. And these guys, they're just going to move up. I don't know where these are planning on going. For now, that'll do. We'll move in over here. And we'll take back a bunch of this territory. Cool. Very little left as far as rebels. We're mostly replenishing now. And that's great. We're also going to continue to work on our religious unity. That's very important as well. These guys can move in over here. There we go. Are these stacking together? I don't know. We've occupied down over this way. We definitely need to continue with that. These guys are already told to head over. So that's all good. Cool. So we'll just continue to take back territory over here. These guys can head up over this way, and these are now capable of helping out. So we'll head on up. Something kind of like that. Beautiful. All of these units can pile in here. We want to eliminate these particularists. Once and for all. 50 admin power, 10 prestige. We'll spend the admin right now. Honestly. There's another conversion that finished up, and we will continue to convert. Okay. So we won here. Now we're going to head up and eliminate this final unit of rebels. Well, actually, there's still this one, but they're not particularists. We're going to head in over here. Cool. You're going there. That's fine. We'll head up over this direction. And we're just taking back a bunch of territory here. Hello, we can get ourselves a diptech. We're definitely going to do that. And we should also, at this point, if we're not already there, switch over to admin tech. We are already there. So we were working on cycling these guys, if I recall correctly. Stability cost modifier. I'd like to have this production efficiency, although missionary strength would be good too. I'm going to cycle these again. And let's see what we get. Okay, we went up over here. This was fully expected, of course. I'm going to spread out some of these units and have them start doing some cap back. Cool. So, what do we get in here? National tax modifier. Not an accepted culture. Yearly inflation reduction. Not great. So what we're looking for here is something that has a good bonus, but is an accepted culture, and we can take up to level 5. That's what we're looking for here. Let's see if that ends up happening. We won this battle up here. That was fully expected, of course. Cool. So we've occupied back this territory. Fantastic. Our colony over here is now self-sustaining. That's always good. And we are then going to... Oh yeah, we don't really have anywhere over here to colonize except for like up this way. I think we'll hold off on that for the moment. That's Japan that holds over this way. Yeah, we're not really working on Asian colonization. I think for right now, we're just going to continue working on colonizing in Africa. So let's do that for the moment. Fantastic. We do need to, of course, continue to occupy back territory out over this way, which we will certainly do. Okay, something kind of like that. Hello, pause menu. Should do the trick. These guys need orders as well. There we go. So we're going to clean up all of these pieces. We'll continue to cap back over in these directions. Beautiful. Let's see. You need orders, so we'll take you out over here. We're actually very close to done with this. Not that many provinces left over here. Okay, you are already going there. So we can head in here. We already have one going here, so we can head into Camdo. Fantastic. Okay. Honestly, I don't think we need all of these moving up, so we're just going to leave them be. And we'll get the rest of our capping done over here very, very quickly. So we have rebels that are close to enforcing their demands right now, but... Is that all this territory over here? I think, well, there's some Greek separatists. There is a territory over here. Cool. Tibet, Nepal, Marathas. This over here. Forgot about this. There we go. That should do the trick. Beautiful. So we'll get this all capped back quite quickly. It's almost done as is. So we can move into here, and actually, that's the final order. All of this is done. There's also this spot over here that we can grab. Let's do a quick once-over. See if we see any other occupations. Currently, the answer is no. Okay. Fantastic. So these guys will arrive here somewhat late. But all of this is now under control. And we have manpower, actually. That's great. Do we have anyone taking attrition currently? I don't believe we do. No, we do not. We're not fully reinforced yet, but we're definitely getting there. And we'll cap back this location. I believe that to be the final rebel faction. And yes, it is. Beautiful. Let's check in on our combat width. Our combat width is now 36. So we should actually widen our units a bit. Our current template is 13,417. And we need to go up to 18. So we'll create a new one. This is going to be 14, 4, and 18. There we go. We'll save that. Cool. And now we're going to have to get all of these units upgraded to that. Now that's going to cost like 2,000 per army. We probably have enough to do that right now, honestly. We probably do. So let's go ahead and start working on it. And we're just going to, I wish there was a way to hotkey this, but we're just going to go down the list, and we have to do this while paused if we don't want the list to constantly get changed around. Yes, this is going to bring us over our force limit. I'm aware of it. It should be fine. We're currently making 1,300 per month. It could be higher, to be sure. But I think it's okay. There's a lot of autonomy out over here that we can probably get rid of after we're done with this. We'll see about that, because those particularists were increasing autonomy in every location that they captured. So that's something that we could definitely work towards improving. But I want to see about getting all of these armies, or at least most of the armies, upgraded. We'll see how much manpower we can fit in here for now. We're not at the bottom quite yet. We have a lot of armies. There's no doubt about it. And, in fact, I think this is more armies than we have manpower. But we'll see. Let's get all of these expanded up. Ooh, yeah, there's definitely a lot of armies. No doubt about that. We've got a very, very large force. I mean, we know that we have, like, almost 4,000 units, right? So it's a lot, to be sure. Okay, let's just scroll this down a little bit here. And I did also want to say, I'm not sure what the timing is going to look like with the release of Victoria 3. Okay, we're out of manpower right now. We'll let this tick forward for a bit. I'm not sure what the timing is going to look like with the release of Victoria 3, which is, as I record this, next month, if I recall correctly. Like, about a month away, maybe a little more. I'd have to double check the exact date, but it's something like that. Actually, I can look on Steam right now. Let's see here. Victoria 3, 25 October 2022. So, yeah, it's a little over a month away. If this game finishes before we go to Victoria, I definitely, well, here's the thing, right? Importing this game into Victoria 3 could potentially be awkward because the modders likely won't have a lot of time to develop the import tool. It's usually pretty fast, but we might have to have a placeholder series until such a time as we can import it into Victoria 3. I am planning to do Victoria 3, not Victoria 2. I want to make that very clear. And the reason for that is because the Victoria 2 UI does not scale well to 4K at all. Everything is teeny tiny, and it's not great. So I would much rather do Victoria 3 over Victoria 2. And that's the overall plan for the moment. If we have to have something that's a placeholder, we can do that. Like, one thing we could potentially do is have a placeholder from my Rogue Tech stream series and just be like, we're just going to move this in here real quick. And once we can import this into Victoria, I would also like to have a more quote-unquote normal Victoria game, to be clear, because importing this is not going to be indicative of the normal Victoria experience, right? That's for sure. So I think that we'll probably do a bit of a stream series on Victoria, most likely. But I do want this to go into Victoria 3, for sure. Now, we're likely to conquer the world either by the end of Europa, and if that's the case, then this whole conversation is moot, because we would just jump directly to Stellaris at that point. But we're extremely likely to conquer the world in Victoria if we don't conquer it by the end of Europa here. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for the moment. It's a bit nebulous right now. It really depends on how the timeline is looking, right? That's very much a question mark for me right now. Okay, these guys are taking attrition here. We definitely want to move them. Where are you? You're currently here? Okay. Let's move you somewhere where you won't be taking attrition. Here is fine. Cool. Okay, we're going to let our manpower build up a bit here, but that's the overall plan as far as Victoria goes. It might be moot. We might not need to have any Victoria at all. We'll see. That kind of depends on how this ends up going. But if we go to Victoria, it will be Victoria 3, which means that there might be a small delay. Missionary strength and... Actually, national tax modifier is good here. Cool. We'll bump this guy up to level 5. And that sounds good. 825. Yeah, I mean, the more over our force limit we go, the worse it's going to get. We're currently paying 700 almost just for being over the force limit, right? So that's a big deal, but we are going to have all of these armies done fairly soon. We have the manpower to do it now. I keep trying to go into the leader, but that's not how this is done. We have all of the units at this point. Or the manpower, rather. So let's get this over with. And we'll see what the being over force limit damage is. We may end up having to build regimental camps, which isn't the end of the world. And in fact, is probably not a bad idea right now. If we do that while we're waiting for our manpower to regenerate, then we're going to be able to go after Congo again pretty quickly here. And the next war, to be clear, will be a lot less overextension. It will definitely be less overextension because they don't have all these little one-province allies that we'd be simultaneously annexing, which, for the record, was not necessarily the smartest way to go about things, but we can brute force our way through it when we're this size. It's completely fine. Okay, we'll conform you to the template as well. Beautiful. Okay, so that's everyone conformed to the template. Now, before we start building any regimental camps, I want to wait until we're done constructing this. We must protect our trade, and we'll ignore these guys. Cool. We also have an ability that we can purchase, which is just flexible rivalries. So we'll go ahead and do that. And there is one more era here, the Age of Revolutions. Age of Revolutions is probably going to be spicy for us, just for the record. There's a reason I've saved the Golden Era. Just for the record. Okay. So we're going to let all of these armies group together. We converted the heretics of Buganda. That's great. We will continue to convert. And another conversion finishing up. No, I don't want to cancel this. I want to send out to here. Cool. So we can store almost 2 million manpower. That's a lot of manpower, to be sure. Our overextension is going to continue dropping over the next little while, and we could definitely seize land here, taking us back up to 100%. Cool. Now, these guys are taking attrition. We'll gain 50 admin power, sure. These guys are taking attrition here, and I'd like to move them. Actually, right here is fine. Cool. We'll do just that. I'm checking through for other attrition. There's some up here. That's not hugely surprising. We'll move them down to simply here. Any others? I think that's it for now. These guys. Well, we just dealt with them, didn't we? Hang on. Let's let these move a bit, And yeah, that's this force here. Looks good. Ah, these are supposed to be grouped together. There we go. We'll go ahead and do so. And I also want to deal with our navies here real quick. So let's pop down over towards this African coast here. Get these all grouped together. And then I want to grab all of our navies with the possible exception. Yeah, these guys are fine, I think. They're currently protecting trade in Lübeck. Is that our best location? Novgorod is pretty good. We'll do Novgorod. And I'm going to bump this up to 100 light ships. Okay, 105, because I'm too lazy to cancel the ones that I accidentally queued up. The rest of our fleets here are all going to group up, for now, over here. Cool. So we'll get that all underway, and then I want to check in and see how much are we spending right now on being over our force limit. 731.88 per month. So that's basically half of our income there. Cool. That means that it is, in fact, extremely worthwhile. And I want to check in on manufactories. There is one that we can make there. It's extremely worthwhile here to actually get this going. So the real question is, when do we build in our... What am I looking for? Conscription centers. I think the time to do that is basically now. I do want to build all of these plus 0.1 cathedrals. These are all upgrades, aren't they? I believe that these are all upgrades. How many of these are there? Quite a lot. And if they're upgrades, we should just build them. So I want to sort this by cost. Yeah. And we'll do it this way. If they're upgrades, we want to build them no matter what, because that building slot is already full, right? And this will just make it better. So that'll be fine. We'll work our way through this. And as long as they are upgrades, this is good. Now, we don't have access to do this with workshops just yet, and we're going to have all of our gold spent here pretty soon. This might be a little while to get this going. But that will generate us quite a bit more cash. And I'm going to be ticking forward while we're doing this. We definitely want to be getting... We want to be getting payments. So I should have been doing that earlier. But that was not the button I wanted. Back into buildings. We're going to go into cathedrals here. And once again, if it's an upgrade, we want to do it. If it's not an upgrade, which there's only a couple here that aren't upgrades, then we don't want to do it just yet. Cool. So we'll get a few more of these queued up. There's a lot of them still. I want to check in on fire temples here. Or not fire temples, workshops. And for counting houses, what do we need? Admin Tech 24. Okay, that's going to be in the same boat. How close are we to Admin Tech 24? We're a ways away. And we're going to be taking a technology here. So that's fine. But it is about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to definitely get these constructions built. We're chilling for a little bit, but we're going to go back aggressive fairly soon. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, Sigma162, JJ Gamer, Kentuin, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Kadra, Raw Potato, Elmichi Nazi, Justin Everett, Emiliano Cambrin, Martin Lawrence, Jens Graham, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.